Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Morning, Andy.
Bear with me. Audio challenges.
Oh, can you
Let's
not hear me?
go again. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
There we go. Don't know what was happening there, but I was
There's
also like,
always something, isn't there?
always the technical gremlins are coming out. So, but morning, everybody. Nice to see everyone. For another business growth webinar series, which is slightly different to the usual HubSpot masterclass sessions that we run. These are kind of like an extended version a little bit of the kind of the short and snappy masterclass sessions that we run. We're going to look at the more of an overall hub rather than maybe a topic within a hub, so to speak. And today, as you can see, we're here today to talk about HubSpot's marketing hub. Predominantly the professional version as well. Okay, so or marketing pro, if you hear us calling it that as well for the industry knowledge from that side. And basically, what it does is it can help bring all of your marketing under one roof, automate pretty much everything, anything these days, and also get real clarity on what's actually working in your marketing activity as well. So whether you're sending emails, running ads, posting on social media, building landing pages, this is all about turning disconnected activity into a single powerful system that drives results. Okay. As always with our webinars, that we have a lot to cover. Okay, we have quite a lot to go through. So I just wanted to start by getting a little bit of a consensus of who currently is using Marketing Hub professional, who has a marketing professional subscription. Okay, so if you just want to pop in the chat whether you have free starter pro of Marketing Hub, that would be really useful. And then also we get to check that the chat works as well from that side. So
Two birds with one stone.
yeah, comments and no, yeah,
I
free
think Phil's
version,
got the free version.
goods,
A lot of
free,
people on free.
brilliant. This is going to be really useful for you guys as well to really see the powerful for it as well.
Well, we've got a couple of pros and a
Oh,
couple of
good.
paid subscriptions. Someone says they're working up to it, which is a good way of looking at it, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andy's got professional. Fantastic.
That's brilliant. Okay, good stuff. So that gives us a consensus. So all of this is going to be really useful for you guys. If you've got Pro, you're going to be understanding loads of the tools that you're not getting the most out of. And obviously, with the majority of you not having this, you're just going to see all the potential that it can do as well, and hopefully make a business case for it for you guys as well. So we are scheduled to finish a little bit later than the normal today. We've kind of allocated till about 11:30. That should give us plenty of time to cover everything. I say that lightly, but we haven't actually done a rerun of this, so I don't know. But
We'll see
hopefully
what
it should be
happens.
okay.
Depends how many questions, as usual.
Absolutely. But feel free to pop questions in the chat. We'll try and answer them as we go along. But I always like to start really just with a little bit of an intro really into JDR. So if you've attended one of these before, you'll know that JDR Group are a really established business now. We've been going for over 20 years. It's 21 years this month that we've been going, back in 2004 when we started. Back then in business coaching, where we work with small businesses, helping them to grow their companies successfully. Today, we are an inbound marketing agency working with HubSpot on a day-to-day basis with all of our clients. We've used it in our own business ourselves, and Emma's going to dive into a little bit of how we use HubSpot in our own business as well today for probably about 15 years now, I think, something like that. And we've been partners with them for over 10. There's three primary ways in which we help clients as well. So whether you're on a free version at the moment, like I know some of you are, then what we can do, if you did decide that you wanted to upgrade to the professional level or even the starter level, we can help you set that up. We can help you do all of what we call the onboarding, which is basically getting you all set up and trained. If you've got professional already, which I know some of you have, you may already have been through that with us, or you may have used another partner for that. In that case, where a lot of our clients see a lot of help today, and we've done a lot of this year, is actually helping businesses get the most out of their subscription through bespoke training, consultancy projects that we do. We've done a lot of re-onboarding projects this year as well. But our day to day is being an inbound marketing agency. So we are an outsourced marketing department for small to medium sized businesses. Okay. So although HubSpot can automate large proportions of your marketing, it still requires somebody at the front end to actually do it. And when you work in small businesses, resource time is always the biggest challenge. So we provide that outsourced resource for small to medium sized businesses. So if you'd like to discuss any of that on a one-to-one basis after today, what you can do is you can just organize a time in my diary. Okay. I'm going to share a link to it in the chat now as well. And what you can do is you can just go on and book a time that works best for you. Okay. And we can get together and discuss your business on a one-to-one basis. And I can give you lots of really good resources and tips. Okay. But I'm going to stop talking now because we don't want to spend too much time talking about ourselves today. We're here to talk about HubSpot, but let me just pop that in the chat. And Emma's going to take over.
I'll jump in. Fantastic.
On that side,
so yeah, like Andy said, we are going to be focusing on the professional version of HubSpot today. Now, some of you will have the starter version of Marketing Hub, and there are some really good things you can do on the starter version if that's all you've got at the moment. We are going to be focusing on professional, but even just on the starter level, you can get some really, really good marketing emails going. HubSpot's got a really nice drag and drop email marketing tool, which makes it really, really easy to use. It's very easy to create lists and segments of people to send these emails out to on HubSpot. So even on the starter level, which is pretty cheap, to be honest, I think is it what, like £14 a month now, I
£14,
think?
and that's for all the starter
And that's for
hubs.
all of the starter ones. You can
Yeah.
do some really strong marketing emails. You can set up all of your forms on starter as well, with all custom fields and things like that. And we find that this works a lot better for tracking into HubSpot than trying to use external website forms. You can do all of that. You can even manage your ads on the starter level. So you're able, if for instance you're running LinkedIn lead generation ads, you can hook that up into your HubSpot and that will automatically kind of flow through. You can get some really good ads analytics directly within HubSpot as well, or just on that fairly cheap starter version.
Big thing from the free version, I just put an ad as well, is it removes all HubSpot branding when you have a paid license,
key.
which is really, really crucial. So I know a lot of you have the free account. If possible, you should be looking at upgrading to at least the starter version because you get to
Just
post
makes
from
it
your
look
own
more
brand.
professional, doesn't
Exactly,
it?
it does.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I would definitely recommend that. On the professional version of Marketing Hub, though, this is where you really start to unlock the power of it. Marketing Hub was HubSpot's first kind of hub that they added on. It was where they really started. And some of the tools in this are incredible and getting better and better as well with all of the new AI stuff, which we spoke quite a lot about last month. But with all of that new AI stuff, there's loads and loads that you can do now. So the first thing is social media management. You can hook up all of your social media platforms into HubSpot and use that as your scheduling tool, so you're not having to do that elsewhere. You can also do A/B testing. So that's essentially where you can have two versions of something live at the same time. And say it's an email, you send that out 50-50 to your database, and then you get really detailed data as to what's working, what isn't, that sort of thing. We're going to be going through all of these tools in a little bit more detail, just from an overview perspective. You can also do a ton of custom reporting. I know since GA4 came in, we moved away from kind of universal analytics, which is what it used to be called on Google Analytics. It's become a lot harder to get what you need from Google Analytics. You can still get all of the information there, but it is not as easy to find as it once was. The reporting in HubSpot allows you to kind of do away with that and be using those HubSpot reports as your source of truth instead. And it is so much more user friendly.
Need your own degree in GA4 now, don't you,
I
to
know.
basically learn how to use it all?
It's ridiculous how complicated it is. It really is. The other really key thing, and probably the reason that most people purchase Marketing Hub Professional, is for the automation that you're able to do. And this is one of the first things we're going to be looking at in detail today is this automation. This allows you to really tailor what messages you're sending to people based on where they are in their buying journey. It allows you to use the triggers they give you to send them the right content at the right time. So you're not just spamming people with one email a month on a kind of regular basis. You set up this automation, and then every time someone meets specific criteria you set, they will then be enrolled in your automation from there. And I'll show you how we're doing some of that in our own business today. So that's kind of the headlines of what Marketing Hub Professional can do for you. There's lots and lots of things within all of these. So let's start kind of digging into that a bit more. Now, the key thing that HubSpot really allows you to do, HubSpot doesn't claim to be an all-in-one platform. It claims to be an all-on-one platform. Okay, and what that means is if you are using all of these other tools to run your marketing, so you might have an email marketing software like MailChimp, you might have a reporting software like Analytics, you might have website forms through something like Jotform or some kind of WordPress forms, you might have your various social media platforms, your various ads platforms. As a marketing person or as someone kind of trying to market your business, for every individual different thing you do, you're having to jump into all of these different platforms. And these all um, don't necessarily talk to each other. So something that you're doing on LinkedIn ads, that's not necessarily then going to link up to your MailChimp. And if someone fills out a form, is that going to pull through with the conversion tracking in your Google Analytics? What about if someone DMs you on Instagram? That's all very siloed, and something we hear from marketers all the time, that they're doing like a little bit of everything everywhere and it's not got that joined up approach to it. What HubSpot does is it puts tools in place for you to bring all of these different areas of marketing into one centralized location that's also the same location that you can run your sales from. So you can scrap MailChimp and you can do that through HubSpot emails. You can scrap Google Analytics, do that through HubSpot reports, scrap any forms on your site and do that through the HubSpot forms. HubSpot also integrates with lots of things. So to post on your Instagram and your Facebook, you're never going to be able to kind of stop posting on those platforms, but HubSpot has the scheduler that links in with those tools, so you can do that on the same place as everything else as well. Same with your ads management tools. HubSpot's got those integrations with those platforms, so you can pull all of that into one central location where any marketing that you're doing is going to sit within there, is going to be visible by you as a marketer to bring that all in. It's going to be linked to your CRM and your sales system if you've got kind of that side being used as well, which means you can actually track through right from the very first website visit all the way through at every conversion point through to when they become a customer and a kind of closed won deal, as it were, in HubSpot. So that join up there between sales and marketing much easier, and it makes your marketing reporting much more tangible. Andy says all the time when he meets people, nobody we meet actually wants marketing.
They don't, no.
That's not why people do marketing, right? They do marketing because they want the sales that come at the end of it, and that's what this is going to allow you to do, is to do all that marketing that you have to do and see what impact that's going to have on your sales at the end of the process, all in one centralized platform. Okay, let's jump in and start having a look at some of these tools in a little bit more detail then. I'm going to start with the big one because this is kind of the biggest reason someone's gonna go for Marketing Pro. So it makes sense to start with the best. The real benefits of this are that it allows you to nurture your leads based on their behaviors. So you're not just kind of blanketing people and sending everyone the same thing. You're looking at how they're interacting, what they're doing, and then nurturing accordingly. You also only really need to set this up once. Once you've set up your marketing automation, sure, you need to review it every now and again to make sure the content's still up to date, the strategy's still working. but it's not like you're then having to continually think of new content for emails. You do this once and it's going to nurture your leads for you in a systemized, process driven way forever, essentially. I have a client that we've recently set up a workflow on a recurring loop to send the same emails at Christmas time every year for the next 20 years. We've done that once, and that's now his Christmas emails taken care of for the next 2 decades. So you just do that the once and it's done forever. It's also really key for this that it has that integration with sales. This enables you to, for instance, if you have someone that starts a conversation with your sales team, you might want to pull them out of your marketing workflows and stop nurturing them in that way. The fact that these two systems are kind of connected, the marketing and the sales, makes that really, really easy for you to do, because you can pull someone out as soon as a salesperson takes an activity with them. So it allows for that kind of joining together of those two departments as well, which is another thing that we hear people struggling with a lot, that marketing and sales are too separate and that's causing issues.
Also, from just on the sales side, it helps you just make better decisions with your time as well,
Definitely, yeah.
because you can just follow up interested prospects because you know that they've seen this email, they've clicked this email link, they've visited this particular page on your website,
100%.
they've engaged with you, they've downloaded some content on your website, whatever it might be, they've filled in a form. So all of these things just mean that you just get, it's much more intelligent now. Whereas, if you're just kind of going through a list or a spreadsheet, the onus is on you for that information, and that spreadsheet is only as good as the
As
person that
what's in
uses it.
it. Yeah,
Exactly. Whereas
100%.
HubSpot can obviously change all that for you as well.
Yeah.
The lead turns into a customer. Just quickly, will the automated email sequence stop? Okay, it's a good question, because there's probably two different sides to this. So in a sequence, which is in the sales hub, it will any kind of response to it, that will stop, and any deal change, that will stop as well. With workflows, you can probably answer that one, Emma, better than I can.
Yeah, it's much more custom with workflows. So when you want a workflow to stop is entirely dependent on what you tell the workflow to do. So if you want it to stop when they become a customer, you tell it that that's what you want. If you want it to stop when they open an email, you can get that granular with it, so it will stop at that point. So it is much more flexible and much more customizable in that way. So let's jump in and have a look at some. So this is actually one of our live workflows that I worked on at the start of this year for us, doing a bit of a refresh of what we were doing. And this is the workflow that we send out to our engaged leads. So we have set up in the background some lead scoring. We've done another whole webinar on lead scoring, and that is another tool within Marketing Hub Pro that I love, to be honest. I think it's really, really powerful. We're not going to go into that in too much detail today, because we've only just done a whole workflow on that, literally 2 or 3 months ago, wasn't it, Andy? So definitely check that out. But essentially, in a nutshell, it allows you to score people based on how they have engaged with your previous emails, your website, things like that. So this workflow for us, we send out if anybody is highly or medium engaged. So anyone that's starting to show a little bit of an interest, we'll put them through here. The first thing we're then going to do is, if they are a good fit for us, so we have some criteria set up for if they are the right kind of person for us, then they're going to go straight on over into our sales team to then be worked on by an individual rather than through the automation. If they're highly engaged and a really good fit, we want someone on that immediately. We don't want to let the automation do that. If they're not a good fit, though, we want to get them to essentially take themselves through that journey and automate that sales process to a degree. So we're going to send them an email, first of all. And you can see this email's got a 5% click rate, which is pretty good for an email. Of the people that we've sent this to, 5% of those have then actually clicked through on this. We're then going to wait for 5 days, and I can actually click in. I won't do it now because this is actual real data, but you can then click in and see the contacts that are waiting in this action. So we can see who's waiting for the next email. This is then what we were talking about, Phil, with your question of how do we get people to come out of these workflows. So I don't want anyone in this workflow If a deal is created, they engage with us, they start speaking to Andy about working with us. I don't want to keep nurturing them. I just want them to come out of this workflow. So at that stage, I can set up what we call a branch, where if a deal is being created, they're going to come down this branch and it's going to ping me a little email to say that we've been successful and that a deal has been created off the back of the nurture. If not, though, I'm going to send them another email and then going to wait another 5 days and do the same thing again. And then I can repeat that process essentially. So I've got in here 5 or 6 different emails going out to people at each step. Before it sends an email, it's checking where they are in their journey, it's checking what their behaviors are, and then it's sending them down these branches and nurturing them accordingly. And you could have this go on for as long as you want,
Ever.
really. We've got this over the course of, I want to say, probably 2 or 3 months that this is
About 3 months,
sending.
isn't it?
But yeah, you can do this over a really long period of time, or you can do it over a much shorter period of time. It's very, very customizable to how you want to be nurturing people and how your customers are going to interact with this as well. This has been developed in this way because of what we've seen in previous workflows we've done, and we've kind of taken that review and that strategic approach with it to see what was working and what wasn't, and then design something unique that we feel is going to work for our customers. And that's something we can help you with as well, to design that kind of strategy around your unique business, because not everyone will do this in the same way. Okay, so that's how the marketing workflows work, and you can really do this at any stage in your journey. So this is one we have for slightly more engaged leads here, but you can also set this up as soon as a lead first comes in. It might be that you want to then send them certain content, or it might be after they have filled out a certain form or seen a certain page on your website. All of that information HubSpot has and is tracking, and you can then use that to trigger people and nurture them in different ways. So we have some other workflows set up that sends people content based on what we feel they might be interested in. So if you have been to lots of our webinars, it's more likely that we're going to send you more HubSpot content through these workflows. Whereas if you have been looking at the websites that we build for people, it's more likely that we'll then send you website related content. Allows us to really tailor that messaging to what you know people are interested in. And that's going to be applicable across a whole bunch of different businesses. If you're able to track what people might be interested in and send them just the content that's relevant to that interest, you're going to get much higher engagement rates from people. People are going to look forward to getting your emails because it's addressing something that they're actually interested in, rather than just blanket sending them a load of stuff that's probably of no real value to them. It allows you to get much more customized with that. Okay, so that's HubSpot's marketing automation in a nutshell. In our kind of back catalogue of workflows, we have of webinars, sorry, we have done some on how to create workflows and on marketing automation strategy and things like that as well. So definitely go and check them out. They should all be on YouTube, and they're all available on our website as well. As well. There's loads more I could go into on that, but I'm gonna leave it at that, and we'll move on to the next tool there. So the next thing I want to show you is HubSpot social media tools. So like I said at the start, this doesn't replace the social media platforms. It just allows you to post through HubSpot and to monitor and analyze and report through HubSpot rather than through the separate platforms. So
the most popular one's probably Hootsuite, I think, is probably the most popular, like, comparable
yeah, kind of
platform.
scheduling tool, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Or a lot of people just do it on the individual platforms
Yes.
themselves, I suppose. So yeah, HubSpot allows you to manage all of those different platforms all in one place. Importantly as well, it also allows you to report on them all in a centralized location, and I'll show you that in a minute as well. This is really key because I think quite often you do have to report in silos on your different channels. You have to pull your LinkedIn data from LinkedIn and your Facebook data from Facebook and then kind of have them separate. Through the HubSpot Marketing Professional, you're able to see that as one holistic picture as to how social media is doing, rather than kind of chunking that up platform by platform. It also is going to allow you to forward plan your posts and schedule those in, and have that kind of calendar of content in advance, which really helps with the kind of accountability and remembering to be posting on social, which I think is one of the hardest things, is keeping that consistency up, really.
Mm.
It also has some really cool AI tools, which I'm going to touch on in a little bit. Now, as with everything AI, this is new, and I'm not an absolute expert on this new social media AI tool, so I can't promise I'll be able to answer all questions, but I do want to show it to you because I think it's really cool, basically. So let's jump in and have a little look at the social media side of things in HubSpot. So this is our actual live social media calendar here. And you can see, you can very clearly see on the various different channels we have which posts are due to go out and when. So you can see when we're posting on X, when we're posting on Facebook, when we're posting on LinkedIn, and you can have that in that kind of calendar view, and you can look back and you can look forward on that as well. This essentially allows you to see what's coming up, what's being scheduled, and also where your gaps are. If you've got a few days where nothing's being posted, you might want to kind of fill those gaps. So this gives you that forward plan. You can
You're
also
allowed.
see, sorry, Andy.
I was just about to say, just on that, you can add up to 50 social media accounts. If you notice here, look, at 9:45 this morning, my link, is it my LinkedIn? I think, yeah. Oh no,
Yes.
9:45. Yeah. So I did a post on LinkedIn. So if you go to my LinkedIn, there'll be a post that's done. I haven't done that. Our social manager Kerry has scheduled that for me, so you can integrate. Or so if you're a marketing manager and your director
Mm,
has 10,000 more connections than the company page, you can actually connect his account, their account, or whatever it might be, to that particular plan, and then obviously schedule
yeah.
posts on their behalf as well. So you get a full range of, and also as well, you get to see who has the most engagement. So I always
Yeah.
have a little kind of running battle with my colleague Andrew Lehman there of who gets the most impressions,
Who's
who gets
getting
the
the
most
most
likes,
engagement?
and who gets the most engagement as well. So it's
Fantastic.
it's really good from that
Yeah.
perspective as well. So if you've got
Yeah,
sales
it
guys
is.
that don't have any time and you keep frustrated at them, not they need to post more on social media, you can take that off their plate and do it for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've also had a question from Philip to say, will using HubSpot social media scheduling negate the need to schedule within the platforms themselves? And my answer to that would be, for the most part, yes. There are some very specific post types on different platforms. So, for instance, I think Reels on Instagram is one
Yeah.
where you can't schedule that through the scheduling tools, and you can't do that on any scheduling tools because the social media platforms kind of connections just don't allow you to do it. So there's some very specific types of posts that
Mm.
you'll need to do through the platform itself, but the vast majority of your posts you'll be able to just do directly through HubSpot. And that's super quick to do as well. If you come up into this create social posts, you can literally tick the ones that you want to post on. You can use the post in here. There's AI tools integrated with this as well, so it will generate your hashtags for you. It can even generate the social post, given a little bit of a prompt as well. Add in any media that you want, and then choose when you want that to go out, and that sort of thing as well. So it allows you to do that really, really quickly. It also allows you, if you want to post that a little bit different, like if you've got character limits on X or something like that, you're able to see what that's going to look like on the different platforms and do different variants for your different platforms as well. Hit schedule, and then that will go when you tell it to, essentially. Super, super quick and easy. Now,
That's pretty much all the accounts. TikTok isn't on there just yet, but it is adding it soon, I'm sure.
yeah,
You can do TikTok ads through HubSpot, but you can't schedule
the organic,
a organic post through it.
yeah. But LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram,
X.
X, what have I missed that? Even YouTube, you can do now. You
Yeah.
can see this is a YouTube one now that we've published. That's fairly new. So yeah, there's an awful lot of the platforms that you're going to be
Mm.
posting on anyway that you can manage through here. The other thing that's new on this platform is this brand new social post agent. And what this essentially is going to do is use AI to fill any content gaps. So it's going to look at what you've got scheduled. It's going to look at what's happening in the industry, what cultural events are happening based on your audience, and it's going to automatically create posts for you, which you can then check and then schedule through your platform. So you can give it that kind of go ahead to do that on your behalf, essentially, which is really, really powerful. It also enables you to all of your mentions, your comments, your direct messages, etc. Will populate through into this reply box. So even your Instagram DMs, that's another new tool that they've put on there that can now be managed within here as well. Again, this is something that I know that a lot of social media managers struggle with, is having to respond to comments and messages and things on all separate different platforms. It can get really confusing and things can get missed really easily. This allows you to tie that all into one central place again, and you can respond to that accordingly within here just with these replies here. You can even link this up to individual CRM contacts as well. So if I wanted to tag this in to somebody that I knew was in my system, just so the sales team were aware that that message would come through, then I could do that as well from within here. The other really important thing that we touched on at the start there was the analyze section. So this is where it's going to allow you to see those joined up reportings between various different platforms. So you can see how many followers you've got, you can see how many posts you're publishing, you can see what your interactions are like on different platforms, what your clicks are like. You can see if people are sharing it, you can see what impressions you get. You can see how much website traffic comes off the back of your organic and your paid. You can see what new leads are being generated off the back of your organic and your paid. You can even see now, and again, this is new, YouTube stats directly within HubSpot as well, in terms of how many likes, how many views, your average kind of view duration, that sort of thing. So you're getting tons and tons of information within here on all the platforms. It's also pulling out your top posts, again, cross-platform, cross-user, as to what's getting the most interactions, impressions, etc. So this joined up reporting on social media just makes this so much easier, rather than having to scrabble around and get these things in the various different platforms, and they all look a bit different. And then whoever you're reporting back to is like, well, why does that one look different to this one? This is all centralized in one kind of clean, easy to use place there. Very, very handy.
You do want to know more on the social side. Again, there's a theme here with our back catalogue, but I did 2 webinars last year with our social media manager, Kerry, who goes into all of these in so much detail as well, which they're really useful. And again, you can find them on YouTube or on our website as well.
Yeah. We have had a couple of questions. Phil has asked if this is in Commerce Hub. No, Phil, this is just on Marketing Hub Pro, this one. And then someone else whose name I can't pronounce has asked how this works when looking after multiple brands. So that's going to depend how you've got your HubSpot set up, but it's really easy here. I can toggle which accounts I want to look at here. So if we had a couple of different, I don't know, LinkedIn pages per different kind of brands within our business, we could go through and only choose certain ones to be displaying on here. So you can filter that down as you need to, essentially, to just view the accounts you're looking at. Same with, you can do that by who scheduled the posts. You can also filter this down by campaign. So all of the marketing tools in HubSpot, you can link them into individual campaigns, which I'll touch on a little bit when we talk about the reporting. But this allows you to kind of filter that down and report separately as well there, if that's what you need to be doing. Okay. Someone has asked, do HubSpot offer free trials for businesses? And it has been a bit restricted in the past. They do occasionally offer free trials, but they're normally very, very limited in time as to how long you can use them for, and that sort of thing as well. So it's something we can look at with you if you want to kind of speak to us about it. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a massive thing that they do.
No, and the only instance where I've seen it happen is that they've got kind of verbal commitment that someone's going to be purchasing the platform. So
yeah,
it's yeah, I wouldn't rely on it essentially to get free
yeah,
trial. So
yeah. Okay. Moving on to A/B testing then. So this allows you to really understand what is resonating with your audience using real actual data from what's working, what isn't. It is also really, really easy to set this up, run it, and report on it. Without a dedicated tool for A/B testing, this is a pain. You have to kind of manually recreate things several times and then manually send traffic to different places, manually split your lists in half to send half to one and half to another. HubSpot takes all of that out and just makes it really, really quick and easy to run and report on these. So let's just jump in and have a look at this straight away. So this here is one of our emails, actually from one of our automated workflows. And we were testing a few different things here. So the first thing we were testing was different subject lines. So we did one that just said, who are JDR Group? And then we did another one that said, meet the team behind your free guide. We also then made some changes to the actual email itself. So we'll do a little game of spot the difference here. You can see on this one, we've gone pretty much straight into the video, whereas this one's got a little bit more kind of text on it. We've then are testing the difference between a kind of link just underlined versus a button here. So small little things, but you can see from the results that these are making quite a big difference. So version A, which is the one with the shorter text at the start, which is this one, has had a 28% open rate compared to a 19% open rate on the other one. So that's quite significant. That's quite a lot of extra people that have opened that first version. We've then also had a lot more clicks on that first one. So 2% of people, or 7% that opened it, have then clicked, whereas on the other one, only 2% of the people that opened it have then clicked through. What I can then do for this workflow, if I want to, is I can choose this as the winner, and it will then use that one for everything going forward. And if I want to run a new test, I can then get started and run a new one as well. When it comes to actually running the tests, something that we can do, let's just do this one as an example. So most of you will have received this email this week from us, inviting you to this webinar. If I did want to go ahead and set this up as a test, gosh, where's it gone? It's up here. Used to be on the left-hand side, moved over to the right. I can hit A/B test up here, and it's going to automatically create me this test. So I want to do a 50-50 split. So we'll actually do, I want 100% of people to receive the test. So it's going to be a full 50-50 split. I'm going to hit create the test. And it then will allow me to edit these two different versions. So this is version A up here. So let's say in this one, I want to get rid of this lovely image. But then in version B, oops, I can keep that image. It's now going to give me those two different versions. If I hit review and send on that, that's then going to send that 50-50, and I'm going to get all of that reporting data as to how well those different variations have performed. This is essentially going to allow you to understand in detail what is working for your audience. The test I showed you there had some quite granular things that we were testing, like a button versus a link and that sort of thing. And we're able to do that because we're constantly and consistently A/B testing. So we know the big things that make a difference. We know that putting a name in the subject line makes a difference, for instance. So we'll do that as standard now. But now we're getting down to those really granular details that you can see have actually made a really significant difference in the results we're able to get. We then take those learnings and apply that to our marketing bigger picture for that audience. So it gives you the data you need to make those decisions rather than just guessing and assuming what is working and what isn't working. The final thing to show you then in HubSpot is the reporting side. Now, the reporting on Marketing Hub, you can do a ton of custom reporting where essentially you can customize it to show you whatever it is you're wanting to see. But there's also loads and loads of out of the box stuff. You can also track anything at all that's within HubSpot, and you can do that on a granular campaign based level as well. So this is one of the kind of default dashboards within HubSpot, and this is all stuff that you're going to get out of the box ready to go. Some of this you can even get on the starter
Mm.
version as well. So you get an idea of sessions, the contacts. This is just on our demo account, which is why there's no real data in here. That's why there's a lot of zeros you're seeing, but you get the idea. You can see how your landing pages are performing, how your blog is performing, how your email marketing is, what kind of engagement rates you're getting, what personas are kind of coming into your account as well. On top of all of that, HubSpot also gives you a full analytics suite for marketing. And this is where you're going to get a lot of these more Google Analytics type reporting of what are your top viewed pages, what countries are people coming from, what device types. If you're using UTM and things like that, you can see all of that in here as well. Really good source reporting. So what channels are driving the most traffic to your website? Is it your paid ads? Is it your organic? Get super granular. On Marketing Pro as well, you can also do a good amount of attribution reporting. So you can actually see what emails are generating what revenue if you're using those deals and stuff as well. So you can get super detailed um, into the various different things that you would need to see essentially, and that you're going to be reporting on elsewhere at the moment. This pulls it all into one place. As well as that, you have got all of your custom reporting as well. So if I come in to create a report, um, essentially you can report on anything that's being tracked in HubSpot. So I've got a lot of marketing managers that really need reporting on how their database is split up. How many people do they have that have this certain job role or are from this area, and how are they moving through the funnel? If that information is being logged in HubSpot, then you can report on it. So just to show you a very simple example of that, we'll create a contact report here, and we'll do this based on their favorite color. I'm hoping I've got some data for this. Here we go, yeah. So I might want to see count of contacts broken down by their favorite color, and maybe I want to see that on a pie chart. I've not got great data for this at the moment. I've got 5 of my contacts in my demo system whose favorite color has been tagged as yellow, and 107 that haven't been tagged as anything. This allows you to start seeing how that database is going to break down. Obviously, you would probably be doing this by what they're interested in that you offer, or demographic information, that kind of thing. It allows you to pull really detailed insights onto who your customers are, what kind of is making them tick, and yeah, use that then to segment and set up your data from there essentially. So that's just a super simple example of that. The other key thing from a reporting perspective, if I just come out of this, is the campaigns tool. Now, the campaigns essentially allow you to tie all of your resources for a specific campaign into one place. So if I was to create a campaign, there are some templated ones, but we'll start from scratch with this first one, and we'll call this one webinar. You can give this a specific owner. You can choose when it starts and ends, and you can put some kind of notes and stuff in if you want to. And then essentially what it allows you to do is tag assets into this campaign. What I mean by assets is, let's say you've got an email going out about this webinar, and maybe you also have a landing page going out. Perhaps it's also been mentioned on a website page, and you've got a form. Maybe you've got a call to action about it. All of the different tools within HubSpot, even your social posts, for instance, if you wanted to pull them through, you add them all in as assets into your campaign, and then you get joined up reporting on how all of them have influenced your contacts overall. Okay, so it's going to give you a really nice AI summary of the campaign, and then it's going to tell you how many contacts you've influenced, how much website traffic that's influenced. Again, if you're using it from the sales side, you can get it more granular into how that's impacted on your deals as well. And then it does also break it down kind of asset by asset, as it were, to show you the data for each of those. Again, this is just dummy data, which is why there's a lot of zeros in here, but hopefully that gives a good idea of how that's all tying together into one there.
Allows for better reporting on those individual kind of topics and stuff that you talk about. Like I know an example of a business that used it before was they did a lot of kind of PR kind of content, or like internal content, so content that was about themselves a
The
lot of the
business
time.
itself,
The
yeah.
business itself, with like employee, like day in the life of employees and stuff like that. So a lot of blog posts, a lot of emails related to it, and they had that as a particular campaign and see what impact it actually had, because it actually had the most number of views, but actually from a sales perspective it had the lowest,
Yeah,
because
it's interesting.
it was mainly like the actual team itself looking at it and viewing it and seeing it, whereas the less they spoke about themselves, the more leads and inquiries they actually generated as well. So you can do that.
And you're not going to get those kind of insights without
No.
a tool like this. To be able to tie things together in that way, you need something that's got that kind of all on one. It's bringing all of those different all of those different things and different metrics from different
Mm.
places into one centralized place.
Across multiple platforms as well. So whether that's a
Yeah,
blog post, whether it's
exactly.
an email, whether it's a LinkedIn post, having it all managed in one place is
Just
so
makes it so
powerful.
much easier, yeah, and
Mm,
gives you much better data. The other thing this campaigns tool does, more from a kind of day-to-day perspective, is you can also, if you are a slightly bigger marketing team, you've maybe got a couple of people that working on things, you can like create tasks, allocate budgets to a campaign, that sort of thing as well. So it's quite good from the kind of collaboration, working together in a specific area side of things for the marketing team as well, if that's the kind of business you are. If not, it's still really worth using the campaigns from the reporting perspective. But yeah, if you are a bit of a bigger marketing team, this works really well as well. Gives you that full activity as well of who's doing what within the campaign, which can be useful if you're running a team of people. Okay, those were all of the main tools within Marketing Pro. Like I said at the start, there's so much that we could talk about with Marketing
yeah.
Pro. Like there's so many tools that we've not even mentioned today that are available within it, especially if you're then looking at combining that with something like Content Hub. And I know HubSpot can do some quite good deals sometimes if you're getting marketing and Content Hub together. That unlocks a whole nother swathe of things
Mm,
that are kind of marketing and content related. But hopefully that's given everybody a bit of a overview of some of the power within Marketing Hub and kind of the main reasons why we think this might work well for people. It is very much about joining everything together, centralized reporting, centralized management, and then being able to add new things like the automation that you probably aren't already doing
mm.
to really just take your marketing up that next level, I would say.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people, and I will address the elephant in the room, and because most people will say that obviously the big challenge with marketing professional is the cost
Yeah, it's not
of it.
cheap. It's not
No,
cheap.
it's a big jump from £14 a month.
Yeah,
Okay. I think currently it's £702 a month, which is,
believe so. Yeah.
and that's obviously pay annually, which I think is just about 8,500 for the year. So it is a significant investment for a business. However, hopefully from today, what you'll be able to see is the power that
Mm,
it brings a business and how much that is worth. Marketing for years and years has always been treated as relatively intangible, in the
yeah.
sense of it's really difficult to measure and track what works and what doesn't. There's that famous quote, I forget who said it now, but it's like half of my marketing works, but the problem is finding out which half.
Yeah.
And that's
100%.
just not relevant today, because everything now is tracked, everything is measured.
Yeah.
Okay. And you get the ability to do it. So if you're a marketing manager, you're using HubSpot to kind of prove your worth in a
Yeah.
way. And if you're a business owner, you're using Marketing Pro to justify the investment, to look and measure the result that it's generating for you, and to allow you to make better commercial decisions going forward as well.
Exactly.
So incredibly
Exactly.
powerful and highly recommended on our side.
Yeah. Super. We have had one question from Owen around, does the social media management only come in the professional plan? And yeah, unfortunately it does. You can do your social media ads on the starter version,
Yeah.
but to do the kind of organic and the scheduling, that side of things, yeah, unfortunately that is only on marketing professional. There. Okay.
Okay.
I think we've answered all questions as we've gone there.
We have, yeah.
Give it a couple of seconds to see if any more come in, but I believe other than that, we're done.
We are done, yes. I think so. Uh,
Yeah, I'm
uh,
not seeing any more coming in.
yeah, don't think so.
Fantastic.
Okay, that's brilliant. All right, fantastic, everyone. We'll really appreciate everyone's time. Thanks for staying with us. And it's, as I say, it's a little bit longer than we usually plan, but we're actually 10 minutes early. So
Yeah, we are.
we could have been about 3 hours over, to be fair, the amount of
Yeah,
stuff
it
we
could have
could have
gone
gone
either
through.
way.
So, but we'll keep it at that. And
Yes.
but really appreciate your time, and we'll see you next month for the next
Yep.
one. All right.
Thanks, everyone. Nice to
Take
see you
care.
all.
Cheers, guys. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.